easy go.
What's up, everybody? Henry from Fun Game Reviews. Coming to talk to you guys about the best hero aids to equip for Mr. Great Sage. Alright, guys, all you brand new players out there, I'm going to be talking about how to do it efficiently for low-level new players, medium-level players, and top-level players. I know a lot of the top-level players do have him enlightened. I mean, for me, though, I actually do not prefer to enlighten him. I feel like the enlightenment and the insight where you're actually just kind of teleporting away. I mean, how useful can that really be? I mean, I feel like it's useful if you're just trying to make it so that he doesn't die really quickly. But at the same time, if you guys use him in the defensive lineup, I would actually say having him die and coming back, using that fortitude and actually making it so that it's harder on the enemy, and also dropping down like toxic shaman bubbles, for example, would actually be nicer if you weren't actually like teleporting away and then dying and then dropping the bubble. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, let's go ahead and go into the details here. I mean, I currently do not use him in the current lineup, other than like I use him in the Bastion. But here is kind of the stuff I would actually discuss when it comes down to hero aids for base siege. So when you talk about base siege, it's going to be resource raids, Lords League, and Guild Clash. Okay, guys. So for Mr. Great Sage, here are some of the key things that I feel would really make him a very strong key player. All right. So first of all, you guys know that Great Sage will come in and come in with a lot of damage. And on top of that, having him where he actually can reflect damage and drop toxic shaman bubbles and stuff like that would come in major handy. So let's talk about the defensive first. So let's just say for low level players, I mean, I know not everybody has it, but for low level players, the best thing to have is Pen Goalie to start it off with, so that you make it a little bit more frustrating for the enemy to try to kill your to kill your Great Sage. Pangoli will make it so you have that extra bit of survivability. Number two, you want to definitely have a Toxic Shaman. The reason why you want to have Toxic Shaman as a hero aid for your Great Sage is because you can see reflects 30% damage taken on death. Deployed hero releases a cloud dealing 7,000 damage per second, reducing attack rate and speed. Allies are healed for 10,000 HP per second. So basically, if Great Sage is the first one to die, not only will he be reflecting 30% of the damage taken when he dies, he basically will also be releasing a cloud that actually heals all of the allies within that bubble, the green bubble that you guys know about. It will do 10,000 HP per second. On top of that, if the enemy is in that green bubble, their attacks rate and speed is also reduced. That helps so much, guys. Okay, and for the third thing, it could range for. This is talking about for the low-level players. Remember that. You guys can actually do the following. You can actually do Pangoli, Toxic Shaman, Chiron. You guys use Chiron as well because you want to actually do. First off, you're increasing the attack by 40%. And on top of that, you're actually reflecting a lot of damage. Okay, you're reflecting 53% skill damage, 20% attack damage. So not only are you having that double reflect using Toxic Shaman and Chiron, you're also actually increasing your overall attack. Okay, so that's when it comes down to for low-level players. I know for low-level players, you guys can actually use a little bit of variation as well. Okay, if you guys don't have a high-level Chiron, you don't have it skilled out, you can actually, if you guys don't do the full reflective team lineup, you can take advantage of using Skull Mage as well. I mean, yeah, you're kind of trading off that 10% attack for that reflective damage. I personally think that the reflective damage is a lot better because if you have an enemy that's actually a lot stronger than you, I mean, having that reflection does make a big difference. Like, especially when they come in trying to nuke you down with, like, say, Pangoli, for example. Okay. So let's go in. We can actually also do Sapphirex. Sapphirex can potentially be amazing as well, but I mean, we'll get back to this when it comes down to Battle Royale, because I mean, 25% damage isn't that great normally, but the fact that you can actually get 50% normal and skill uh, in Battle Royale, this can actually come out very, very nicely. Okay. Um, and then some other options you guys can do with your Great Sage is that you guys know when he does his skill, he's actually doing like damage to four different heroes. Four different heroes, right? If you guys actually had Wrath as well, think about think about this. If you guys wanted to debuff random heroes, if you guys were using Wrath, okay, it's 50% chance against five heroes, right? That's actually really, really good. Five heroes. So if you were to shoot one skill to five different heroes, every hero had a 50% chance to dispel a random buff. Literally, you have a really good chance of actually removing all the buffs. So let's say if you were fighting against like Enchantress, um, fighting like Arcane Caster, whatever, right? And you know how they had the bubble that basically makes it so that all the heroes are pretty much invincible and stuff like that. You can see grant shelter to allied heroes with the lowest HP, 24 seconds. You can actually potentially get rid of all of their bubbles because a lot of top ranked players, medium ranked players, they have Enchantress in their lineup. So I mean, you guys are trying to at least counter that a little bit. I mean, when they try to come in and they try to brute force attack you, full frontal status, you know what I mean? You want to kind of slow them down and kind of prevent them from pushing all the way through really, really rapidly. Okay. Um, so now we can actually move into like medium level players. Now, medium level players, you want to be even more efficient. You want to be even more tanky. You want to make it so that your Gray Sage not only lives for a long time, you want to make it so he pisses people off too. As much as you guys don't want to say piss people off, you want to piss them off. Like literally piss them off. So here are the options for your Gray Sage as a medium level player. I mean, this kind of works out for top level players as well. I mean, you're gonna definitely want a Berserker to start off with, so that you're pretty much trying to prevent death as much as possible. You're taking as least amount of damage as possible. So Berserker is definitely number one requirement. Number two, I would really highly, highly recommend having Toxic Shaman in there. Toxic Shaman will be number two, definitely, because having him in Fortitude really, really comes in handy. Okay, right now I'm still talking about the defensive lineup, guys. I'm not talking about offensive yet. Okay, defensive lineup. Toxic Shaman. Berserker, Toxic Shaman, that is like the two most needed heroes for sure for medium and top level players. You don't want to have anything but those two. For the third one, that can vary in many, many different ways. Okay. But for sure, you want to have Berserker, Toxic Shaman for the first two. So, going into it, I mean, you want to piss them off by making it so that you're very much dangerous. Let's go ahead and say you can actually start it off from all those nukers. You can actually put Ravager in there. Ravager will make it so that if you take a huge hit, you will gain invincibility for 7 seconds. Okay, so literally, if you're gaining a hit that's bigger than 20% of your damage or of your life, technically you'll be invincible for 7 seconds. You can also do a Storm Rider. If you were actually using Storm Rider and you actually had one that has like max skill, this one will ignore 40% of the skill damage taken. Literally ignores it. It doesn't even say chance of ignoring. You're literally ignoring it, and taking and 30% attack damage taken. So literally you're taking skill damage. Skill damage is the actual skill itself. And attack damage is just the swing damage. So like, let's just pretend like you're getting attacked. Like the enemy is just like swinging at you like Abyss Demon using his swords against you, stuff like that. That is what it really represents. Okay. Um, so having Berserker, having Storm Rider and Toxic Shaman together, really your team will be pretty invincible for your Great Sage. Let me just say as well, I mean, having Berserker, it all depends, right? It all kind of depends. I mean, you guys will have to watch your own defenses and kind of see how that looks like. You want to say, if you use Ravager, you want to say, if you're getting actually nuked even through your Storm Rider and Berserker. If you actually see that people are actually still nuking you through those two heroes, you want to go ahead and change out your Storm Rider and actually put in Ravager. Ravager will make that invincibility be there and actually help a lot. Okay, so that is for top and medium level players. I mean, that's the best probably options you guys can use for Great Sage. I know not everybody will want to use like attack because Great Sage, I mean, the whole point of Great Sage is to survive and give you that divine that gives you a lot of rage. Okay, so moving on, guys, we will say the next setup that you guys want to definitely take advantage of will be in the attack formation lineup. So now we're talking about low levels, medium level, and top level players. Uh, when you guys go in for the strike, go in for the kill. Okay, so you're Great Sage. Think about your Grey Sage. Grey Sage can be actually used as a really amazing tank to start off with too. That's kind of how I used to do it. I used to go in there and start him off as a tank. Because think about it, if you're using Great Sage and you're tanking, okay, for 5 seconds, you can actually see becomes immune to attacks, and deals damage of 25,000 plus 200% attack to all targets, locks skills of enemies, so basically makes it so they cannot use their skill for 10 seconds, also gains 5 rage. So 5 seconds, I am actually able to take all that burst damage and actually not have to worry about dying. How amazing is that? That's like a really good way to make heroes waste their skills. Like forcing like if you wanted it's called sacrificing, like suicide. You basically go drop off the hero that's going to be tanking it. He's going to last 5 seconds just turning and not only that, you have him silenced for 10 seconds while you're invincible for 5 seconds, right? So literally having that will really be very useful in the beginning. So for me, I don't make him as tanky, but hero aids for low level players start off with Pangoli. That's number one. Number two, you want to take for your Grey Sage. You want to have Great Sage will be for the lower level players. Let's just say we'll do Chiron again. So Pangoli, Chiron. And instead of using Toxic Shaman, so Toxic Shaman is only amazing in the defensive lineup. I don't really see him being as amazing in the offensive lineup. So, because when you die with Great Sage, you die. You don't come back 3 times. You die, you die. That's it. Okay, so Pangoli, Chiron, and then another thing you guys can do, you guys can actually take advantage of D-Jenny. I can't show you the D-Jenny's full scale attack here, but I can show it to you from here. Okay, so if you were to actually have his aid at level 9, you can actually have his increase his crit rate by 6% and also crit damage by 18%. You can actually get a lot of additional rage. Okay, I mean, not rage, damage, because of crit rate and crit damage. Okay, you can actually take that and try to see if you can actually use Grey Sage as a nuke target. Or you can actually try to stack as many freaking attack units as possible. So Pangoli, I mean, if you want to go the suicidal rate, you could. But you always want to have that, like, extra bit of survivability and invincibility. So it will be Pangoli, it will be Chiron. I would also probably put in Skull Mage in there. Skull Mage could come in big handy here. Okay, you can actually take advantage of Skull Mage here. I mean, Hydrasaur, I mean, like when it's really high up there, you're only getting 28%. It's really not that much. Or I think at max it might be a little bit more. Let me go double check Hydrasaur real quick. Hydrasaur would actually be let's see here. Like, if we go check this out, what is his maximum aid? So at maximum aid, you're getting 36% and 36% HP. I mean, think about it. You get that extra HP, but you want to actually have it so that you have more attack. I personally still stick around with Skull Mage because I mean you get 50% there, you get 40% on this. On top of that, if he is tanking, because you guys have him invincibility mode, he's reflecting. Remember, as he's invincible, he's reflecting everything. Okay, so that's why he's super useful like that. And having it where he's paired up with Rain Event and having it so he can use 2 Divines, think about it. That's 10 seconds of invincibility, and that's 20 seconds of silence. Okay, you just have to make sure you guys time it out. If you time it correctly, it will come out perfectly. If you don't time it right, then you'll run into a lot of problems. All right. So let's move on. I mean, if you guys wanted to think if there's any other good ones that potentially could happen for like low level players, I mean, put that in the comments down below. But next, I would say we are going to be talking about the medium and top level players. What are they using for Gray Sage? I mean, Gray Sage, they're basically using him for stuns. So I mean, as for them, the whole purpose is to try to keep them alive for as long as they possibly can. So I would actually say for like the people who are playing in the medium levels, I'm gonna basically say they're gonna be using Berserker, they're gonna be using Ravager, and they're gonna be using Storm Rider. Okay, you can actually do Berserker Enchantress Storm Rider as well. Though it depends on whichever one you wanna use. You have to kind of play it off and see how much the survivability level is for you if you're using those two lineups. I know for those like medium top level players, they already have them either in light or they already have like their skills really fully maxed out compared to low level players. So that's why it's less important to have like all nukes because they're gonna have heroes that are gonna be even more nukey compared to low level players. That's why you want to definitely go for survivability rather than going for that nuke power. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Loris League, Guild Clash, and all that for top level players, medium and low. Let's move on to arenas. Okay, for arenas, I mean, even I currently have it set up kind of bad. For me, the way I kind of do it is I use this guy as a tank and to stun. But the main thing is if you can actually nuke hard enough, for arena, you want to actually take advantage, as even low level players, you want to take advantage of Ironclad. Ironclad basically is really useful because at maximum hero aid skill, you guys will actually be able to do a big boost in damage to the actual base. So if you can actually stack ironclads, it would actually come in major handy here, right? Because if you're actually at maximum, look at that. You can do 70% more damage to buildings and 70% against clones. So literally having this, you guys can remember like how I always tell you guys in arena, don't focus on killing heroes. You gotta focus on trying to kill that base. That is the key like reason why he's really useful. So I mean that's also a reason why some people use Great Sage in arena and have him enlightened, because I mean if you make it so where he dies really quickly, with that insight, he can actually teleport, and that teleportation actually gets to a point where he teleports almost practically right next to the base. That's one of the things that I have noticed. Like where he teleports towards the base when he's actually about to die. Um, I don't know if that's like done by design, but like that's something that I've noticed. Like I've always seen him actually teleport really close to the base. So I mean, let's go ahead and go triple check what the insight is because I know it's depending on its insight, right? Summons a clone to taunt enemies if Gray Sage HP falls below that. 20% for the first time during any non-defensive battle. Also teleports a Gray Sage to a random location, restoring 500,000 HP and increases attack rate and speed by 50% for 30 seconds. So yes, you're going to be faster, you're going to hit harder, you're going to be restoring a lot of HP, but you want to make it so that you're nuking the building. So remember, you want to start off with Ironclad. Ironclad's going to be number 1. You'll probably want to use Chiron as number 2, and then number 3, you'll either do Skull Mage, or you can actually do, um, let's say, which one? Which one was I was thinking? You can do Skull Mage, you can do Hydrasaur, you can do Chiron and Ironclad. Those would be the arena things for everybody. Okay, it doesn't really matter. I mean, even the top ranked players, they don't even care too much because all they do in arena is just kill the base. They don't even like nobody kills each other. Like they don't kill the heroes. They go for the base and that's it. Done deal. Okay? So moving on, we're going to go into Battle Royale. So Battle Royale, what is the best way to take advantage in Battle Royale? All right. So for Great Sage in Battle Royale, the best possible route, I mean, you guys can actually take is that tank method. Remember, Battle Royale, I said you want to take advantage definitely with Sapphirex. So Sapphirex would be the number 1 choice because you're going to get 50% damage and 50% skill. That's going to definitely, and on top of that, having Great Sage in Battle Royale, you can stun the enemy heroes. So big damage and stuns. So literally the best ones, Skull Mage, Sapphirex, and Chiron. Those 3 together would go amazing in Battle Royale. Okay, because you want to definitely have it so that you have that survival. Just know for low-level players, if you do have a little bit of struggle where you can't keep your Great Sage alive, put in Pangoli, where let's say we'll put in Pangoli for Skull Mage. We'll put in Pangoli for Skull Mage because Sapphirex is already giving you a 50% boost in skill and damage. And Chiron, you're doing reflective damage. Remember when you're immune using the Divine, and you're actually getting a 40% attack boost. You're substituting a 50% attack boost for a little bit more attack rate and survivability. So that's what I would say. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Battle Royale. Okay, Gale Boss, low level players. I mean, medium and high level players, they don't use Great Sage at all on Gale Boss. They used to, but not anymore. Because that extra rage boost and stuff, it doesn't help as much as you guys think it does in Gale Boss. So we've completely stopped using Great Sage in the Gale Boss. So don't worry about Gale Boss. It's not really used there. But for low level players who would actually be using it for like Great Sage in Gale Boss, let's just say the hero ace that you would definitely want to be using will be definitely Berserker. Berserker is number 1 that you would need because you need to survive. Number 2, you can actually do, let's say, Enchantress. Enchantress would be very useful. And I would actually say for number 3 would be Storm Rider. Storm Rider. I know you guys want to like boost all the way in just attack, but Guild Boss is all about surviving the whole 3 minutes rather than let's burst down the Guild Boss. I mean, tell you the truth, unless you're a top ranked player who can actually kill the Guild Boss and you don't care about time, Nor for everybody else cares about time. They want to finish and not have all their heroes die before the 3 minute mark ends. Right? You want to be actually able to kill the boss, or you gotta like live through all 3 minutes so you can maximize as much as possible on damage. So that's pretty much it, guys. This is Henry from Fun Game Reviews. I have shown you guys as much as I can with Gray Sage. I have listened to your comments as well to make sure I show, like, as I talk about the hero aids, show the hero aids and discuss like what they are actually being used for. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. Don't forget to make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Henry from Fun Game Reviews. Peace out.